Good day, everyone. I am Nasajin E. Tabiaras from Group E. Our topic is all about the main curriculum principles. Before we proceed for our discussion, let us know first what is our learning objectives for today's discussion. At the end of the lesson, the students will be able to discuss the main principles of curriculum, understand each principles towards the learning experiences, and differentiate the principles of curriculum. This principle is anchored on the tenet that students learn from experience and activities. Any experience a student has in the process of learning is considered a learning experience. This includes traditional methods of instructions as well as authentic learning. Learning experience guides students towards engagement in content and help them learn new skills. The teacher's fundamental task is to get students to engage in learning activities that are likely to result in achieving the intended learning outcomes. It is helpful to remember that what the student does is actually more important than what the teacher does. Here, activities should build on previous activities and avoid being repetitive. They should enable students to engage with and develop their skills, knowledge, and understandings in different ways. The learner-centeredness, since the students are the central players in the educative process, the activity centers on their cognitions and growth. So here, learner-centered education empowers the students to take ownership of what they learned by focusing on how the new knowledge solves a problem or adds value. Instead of simply pouring information over the child's mind, the facilitators present the students with an issue and guides the class as they build a solution. So as you can see at the presentation, there are some examples of activities that we can use which centered for cognitions and growth of the students. We have here the foster collaborations with group projects, let learners develop content, do role play, hold a debate, pose problems, and brainstorming. So in the learner-centeredness, there is an emphasis on satisfying the students' needs and maintaining their interests and motivations. Fostering students' motivation is a difficult but necessary aspect of teaching that instructors must consider. Many may have led classes where students are engaged, motivated, and excited to learn, but have also led classes where students are distracted, disinterested, and reluctant to engage, and probably have led classes that are a mix emotions. So the purpose of the original expectancy value model was to predict students' achievements, behavior within educational content. So we have here the expectancy. So it refers to a student's expectations that they can actually succeed in the assigned task. It is energized students because they feel empowered to meet the learning objectives of the course. While the value, involves a student's ability to perceive the importance of engaging in a particular task. So this gives meaning to the assignments or activities because students are clear on why the task or behavior is valuable. So for the last, you have the cause. It is the points to do barriers to impede the student's ability to be successful on an assignment, activity, and or the course at large. So therefore, students might have success, expectancies, and perceive high task value. However, they might also be aware of obstacles to their engagements or a potential negative effects resulting in the performance of the task could decrease the motivation. In the learner-centeredness principle, the educational activities need to be both developmentally and meaningfully appropriate for the students for their holistic development. Holistic development essentially means the development of intellectual, mental, physical, emotional, and social abilities in a child so that he or she is capable of facing the demands and challenges of everyday life. Physical capabilities development includes development of the gross motor skills and development of psychomotor abilities, while in intellectual capability and cognitive ability development includes development of the abilities to learn from information and experiences, development of abstract thinking, development of comprehension, development of logical and analytical thinking abilities, development of creative thinking abilities, and development of problem solving. While in the emotional ability, development includes development of interpersonal abilities, development of interpersonal abilities, development of self-regulation abilities, and development of empathy, and also we have the development of competencies. While in the social skills development, it is built or through playful learning, experience, students can acquire broad and dynamic, interconnected skills and rapidly and effectively. In the learner-centeredness principles, the curriculum should be according to the needs, interests, capability, capacity, attitudes, and abilities of the students. So development of a balanced curriculum. So the existing curriculum is academically oriented with more emphasis on cognitive development and less considerations on pupils' individual needs, abilities, interests, potentials, and developmental history. Apart from this, personal and social development, self-understanding, and various levels of life skills training have never been explicitly included in the curriculum as a unique subject. Therefore, when planning the curriculum for maladjusted children, their special needs should be taken into consideration. Besides, the basic academic and cultural subjects therefore will be appropriate weighting on learning areas in personal and social development. On top of this, a balanced weighting of subjects should be worked out according to the available resources to meet the interest and ability of individuals, pupils, and give them chances to gain success and pleasure in their school life. Now, let's proceed for our second curriculum principle, which about the community-centeredness. In the community-centeredness, social and local needs of the students should be taken into account. So, a first step in assessing students' needs will include evaluating their context and their social and emotional needs in order to make appropriate supports available and to foster strong trusting relationships. Regardless of what school reopening looks like, student success depends on their entry into a caring community and on academic supports that focuses on growth over remediation. Taking a forward-looking view of learning status and progress rather than a deficit-oriented view of students' abilities that starts off the year under a cloud of discouragement and self-doubt. Instructionally, relevant assessment is a process that can help teachers and students recognize, celebrate, and leverage current students' understanding and skills to propel student thinking forward through opportunities for feedback, reflections, and continuous improvement. In the community-centeredness, the students understanding their role to solve societal problems. They should be in a position to face challenges. So children here develop problem-solving skills at different rates. Nevertheless, it is imperative that children learn to tackle problems with grit and creativity, especially as they learn to cope with setbacks or resolve conflict. Moreover, problem solving is one of the most important skills children can develop because it prepares them to face increasingly complex academic and interpersonal issues as they mature. Expert agrees that the ability to meet challenges confidently is a critical skill for school readiness. In many cases, children learn by watching parents and caregivers solve problems, improve academic performance, increase confidence, and career readiness. So why is problem solving important in child development? So the earlier children begin solving problems, the more ready they are to deal with bigger challenges as they mature. By introducing problem-solving skills in the classroom, children learn to think in terms of manageable steps as they first identify problems, second, brainstorm possible solutions, third, test appropriate solutions, and fourth, analyze results. By viewing problems as opportunities to grow, children broaden their understanding while building confidence. In the community-centeredness, the curriculum must reflect the values of democracy and main concerns of the country. So the John Dewey Project of Progressive Education grounds its works in Dewey's assumptions that the aims of education should be oriented towards preparing young people to be full and active participants in all aspects of democratic life. The skills and dispositions needed to actively participate in all aspects of democratic life includes the ability to think critically, a sense of efficacy, a commitment to compassionate action, and a desire to actively participate in political life by engaging in local decision-making process, voting, and etc., as well as the basic needs to be able to read, write, and do arithmetic. In the community-centeredness, the curriculum develops students who will soon to be contributing members of the community. So community engagements pedagogies, often called service learning, are ones that combines learning goals and community service in ways that can enhance both students' growth and the common goods. So in the words of the National Service Learning Clearinghouse, it is a teaching and learning strategies that integrates meaningful community service with instructions and reflections to enrich the learning experience, teach civic responsibility, and strengthen communities. A form of experiential education where learning occurs through a cycle of actions and reflections as students seeks to achieve real objectives for the community and deeper understanding and skills for themselves. In the process, students link personal and social developments with academic and cognitive development. Experience enhanced understanding leads to more effective actions. So the project asks students to apply course contents to community-based activities. This gives students experiential opportunities to learn in a real-world context and develop skills of community engagement, while affording community partners opportunities to address significant needs. That's all for my discussions. Thank you for watching and listening, guys. Let's proceed for the next reporter.